Hi YouTube, this is Emily, and you'll hear the occasional bird squeak, and that is my little man over there. That's Singy. I did not name him. So today I'm going to be talking about the application process, how my applications went, and I'm going to give a few tips along the way just for those of you that are trying to apply yourselves. So when you're doing the online application, if you're a Canadian, then you'll just do it directly with the Disney website. If you're another country, I have no idea. Good luck. But so the online application, it's not hard to do, but it's definitely a lengthy application. So you want to make sure that you leave a lot of time for it. Like, it took me probably about an hour. So I'd say give it 2 hours just to be on the safe side. So when you do the application, you want to make sure that you already have your resume and cover letter written up. Your resume shouldn't be any longer than 2 pages. You want to make sure that you include any job experience, particularly customer service, because that's basically anything that you're going to be doing with Disney is customer service. You also want to make sure that you include skills that you have. For example, I put that I'm an excellent communicator and that I have a friendly disposition, and those kind of tie into the customer service again. You also want to make sure that you're putting any education that you may have, including relevant classes that you might have taken. For example, in my university degree, I took a public relations class, and I put that on my resume because it was particularly relevant. I also included performance experience because I was in a marching band for 6 years. 6 years. Being in show band, you have to be punctual, you have to have the correct look, you have to be friendly all the time, and you're representing your country and your city whenever you wear your uniform. So the other thing that you want to have written first is your cover letter, and make sure that you write your resume first because you're basically building off of your resume when you write your cover letter. You're going to want to use your resume stuff that you've put on there to talk about your strengths. For example, I'm going to read you guys a quote from my cover letter that I wrote. And in it I said, "Being a member of the Stampede Show Band, it was expected of me to engage an audience, to smile, and to be friendly with everyone. I also learned the importance of hard work, punctuality, and professionalism." So basically you want to kind of say, okay, this is the experience that I have in your resume, and then when you get into your cover letter, you say, well, this is what this experience means in terms of how it's going to be helpful in my role at Disney. So I applied in July of 2014, and I didn't hear anything until about January of 2015. So that's like 6-7 months, something around there. So then I had my interview in February, and for the interview I looked up a lot of questions beforehand. I was trying to find anything that anybody had said to figure out what I should expect. So in the interview session, they'll talk about more detail in terms of your role if you get in, living situation, visa stuff, all of the, nitty-gritty stuff. And then afterwards, you'll kind of go away, and they'll give you a time to come back for your official interview. And basically, you come back for your time, you wait out in the hallway with all of your other people that are in the same time slot, and they'll pull each of you in one by one, have like a 5-10 minute talk with you, and then they'll leave. So during the interview, they'll ask you a couple of questions. It kind of depends. It's hard to know. There's a whole bunch online, and I'll link a couple down below that I found that were really helpful. But one of the biggest key things that you'll want to know is why you want to work for Disney, why you want to do this program, what is the big deal for you. Know that answer, have a really good answer, because that's the one that they're really listening to. As well, they'll probably ask you questions like dealing with upset guests or unforeseen circumstances. For example, the question that they asked me was if the attraction in the Canadian Pavilion shut down, or there was some sort of technical difficulty and there were some really upset guests, how would I deal with that situation? How would I make it continue to be a magical experience for them, even though there is a less than perfect situation? The main thing that you want when you're doing this interview, and everybody's going to say, just be yourself. Like, just be you, and they'll just love you. I agree, but I also don't agree. You should be yourself, but you should try to be the best version of yourself. Like, don't be the version of yourself that goes out drinking or swears a lot or is grumpy. Like, be the version of yourself that is excited to be there and is a happy person. Like, more of the positive version of yourself. As well, you obviously want to be dressed in business attire. You don't want to show up in jeans or a t-shirt or something like that. Like, dress up a little bit. So then after the interview was over, a bunch of the people from my interview group and we all went out for lunch. And that was really nice to get to know everybody, and we all like added each other on Facebook, and we kind of became friends beforehand. And when everybody else got their email that they were accepted, we all were like posting on Facebook being like, oh my god, I'm so excited for you, like I got in too. I thought that was the best part of the whole interview experience, was getting to go out to lunch with all the girls that I had met at my interview group and just kind of talking and, you know, like getting each other excited about the whole experience. And then after the interview, I came home, and they said it would take up to a month to hear the results, but I got it in like a week. So when I actually got the interview, I was having a nap with my boyfriend at the time, and I heard my phone buzz, and I kind of just rolled over, half asleep, kind of looked at it, and I was like, oh, it's a message from Disney. Hey, shush. It's a message from Disney, you know, like it's probably just, you know, thank you for interviewing, and we'll let you know as soon as we can, blah, blah, blah. But I opened it, and it was you know, congratulations, you're hired, this is your arrival date. And I kind of like just sat up in bed, and I was like, oh my god, oh my god. And Alan looked at me, and he's like, what's going on? Like, he kind of just like didn't know what was going on, and I was like screaming, and he thought I was dying. Because I didn't say I got into Disney, I just was screaming, oh my god, and I couldn't say anything else, and he like legit thought like the dog was dead or something. So when I finally calmed down, I was like, I'm working in Disney World. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to like send me a message or something like that, because I'm more than happy to answer them if I can. I'm obviously no expert, but I'm happy to tell you about my experience. Anyway, I will see you guys soon. If Singy would be quiet, please. And I hope you all have a magical day.